Okay, y'all, I feel dragged into talking about something topical, which is something that I've vowed to do much less of, but this particular thing, I just can't quite avoid talking about it. I'm not going to talk about it at length, but I do think it's worth reflecting upon. And that is Tucker Carlson's interview with Vladimir Putin. And I've watched about half of the interview. It's an interesting interview. Um, I'm not going to weigh in on any of the real content of the interview per se. That's not really where I think it would be wise for me to do any kind of commentary. Um, but I would like to reflect on why there is a brouhaha over this interview. Why we have people in the Western world, in the Western media, in the Western political establishment who believe that this is some act of treason on Tucker Carlson's part to be interviewing Vladimir Putin. Um, now, there was some meme that covered this that showed various other um, um, United States interviewers. I'll hesitate to call them journalists, but talking heads. I can't remember who they were, but they were recognizable American, um, uh, network people, network personnel, sitting down with Putin to interview him. And so this meme, said showed these three other cases where you had somebody from Western media interviewing Putin, but in this case, showing Tucker interviewing Putin. That's treason. And it was like, excuse me, what's the difference? If it's treason to talk to Vladimir Putin, then these others were guilty of treason too. And if it wasn't treasonous for them to do it, then it's not treasonous for Tucker Carlson to do it. But here's where I think this is the rub for the Western establishment, for all of the globalist establishment of the West, the neoliberal types who dominate both in the political sphere and in the media, the mainstream media sphere. Here's why they say it's treason. They say it's treason because Tucker Carlson is not going to Vladimir Putin with talking points that are furnished the by the by the Western establishment, and uh, these other interviews. I haven't seen them, but my guess is that these were all people who came to talk to Putin and got a list of questions to ask and things to uh, uh, things to press him on or things to insist about, in which they would basically be upholding some aspect of, you know, American foreign policy. In other words, these were all controlled. These former interviews with Putin were all controlled interviews with Putin. Tucker Carlson is over there as an independent agent, asking Putin whatever he wants to ask him, and and that's what they don't like. They don't like the fact that he's independent and that he's not controlled, uh, because everything has to be controlled. Everything in the West, in the media, the mainstream media, the legacy media, the moneyed media, the establishment media. Everything there has to be Um, I mean, it has to get the okay from the from some authorities, some unelected authorities who just are. It's their job to tell reporters what they can and can't say, or what they can and can't ask, or the way in which they should conduct this interview, and what they want. What they want the result of this interview to be, how they want it to be edited. You know, how they, and this goes for interviewing Vladimir Putin, but it also goes for everything else. The entire Western media is highly controlled. Um, Now, of course, if you're gonna fire back at me, well, you think the Russian media isn't? No, I think the Russian media is controlled as well. Certainly it is. Um, but that's not my point. My point is that uh, this this degree of control. I mean, if you say it's bad that Russia's doing it, okay. Um, I think state-controlled media or establishment-controlled media is not the way to go. I'm all in favor of a free media that can say that has reporters that can say that can feel free to ask questions that are not necessarily rubber stamped by some authority in the State Department or in the CIA or wherever. Um, and I think that the same would hold true of Russian media. I'd want to see that the same standards be applied there. But um, the point is just to say, in this case with Vladimir Putin, the interview with Vladimir Putin being conducted by Tucker Carlson right now, uh, you know, this is just Tucker Carlson asking whatever the hell Tucker Carlson wants to ask. Um, if Tucker Carlson were still affiliated with Fox News, he would have to ask certain things. He would be constrained from asking other things, and the interview would be edited accordingly to show U.S. foreign policy in the best possible light, because Fox News is controlled media. But Tucker Carlson, uh, independent, Tucker Carlson on his own, Tucker Carlson is a free agent. That's what they don't like. They wouldn't like anybody else. It's not anything personal against Tucker Carlson. They wouldn't like anybody else going around and getting the kind of exposure that Tucker Carlson is getting, while not sticking to the script, not um, again doing whatever, not being a marionette, according to what the authorities say you can and can't ask, what you can and can't say, and the overall impression that we want to leave the public with. Uh, you know, the fact is it's all controlled, and if you don't think that, if you think we have a free media in the United States or in the Western world generally, then you're a fool. And Tucker Carlson's proving that right now. Whatever you think of Tucker Carlson, whatever you think of Vladimir Putin. So those are my thoughts on this matter. Tell me where I'm wrong or tell me where I'm right below. Thanks for watching.